This is Secretary of Commerce talking to this lady who really pushed the whole Russia fiasco. And I don't know if you guys remember in the primaries when Vivek was like, tell them that you lied to the public. And then she was like, kind of like, awkward, what do I do? It was awesome, it was epic. That was her. All right, let's begin.
Joining me now is Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick. Secretary Lutnick, welcome to Meet the Press.
Lutnick.
Great to be here.
It is great to have you here, Mr. Secretary. Let's start with this past week. As you know, for the second time in 2 months, President Trump announced and then walked back tariffs on Canada and Mexico. The whiplash causing confusion on Wall Street and Main Street as well. Does the president have a responsibility to businesses and consumers to spell out his plan and then stick to it?
You have to remember, this is a drug-related issue. You've got fentanyl pouring into this country, killing 75,000 Americans, autopsied. And the president, thinks it's many, many more, because multiples more. So it's important for the president to talk to the leaders of both Canada and Mexico, get them to shut the border, shut the fentanyl coming into the country. And of course he's going to be on the phone with them. And of course he's going to talk to them. And he is a deal maker, the greatest deal maker in the world. So he makes better deals. He's gotten the border closed. He's gotten fentanyl to be shut down. He put tariffs on China, who makes the precursors. This is the way you run the country.
You know what's a real epidemic?
What?
This freaking fake teeth epidemic. This guy has them too. Look at this. Look at this guy. I think his are worse.
I was not expecting that. I was expecting some deep, philosophical fucking. The guy is like, it's a real epidemic. These fake teeth. Oh, that was great. That was awesome.
Shut the border. You get our neighbors to do their job. It's not only us who has to do their job. Why are our neighbors who live and breathe off our economy not taking care of America?
Mr. Secretary, one death from fentanyl is too many. I think everyone agrees with that. One scintilla of fentanyl coming across any border is unacceptable on any level. It is worth noting that less than 1% comes over the Canadian border, 97% come over the border from Mexico. If this is the crisis that you just laid out, why is President Trump hitting the pause button? Why not go full bore with this?
Well, what he did was we have a deal with Canada and Mexico. It's called U.S.-Mexico-Canada Agreement, USMCA. And that says if there's a certain amount of American product in those products, and it's done a certain way, they can trade with America tariff-free. So by meeting in the middle with these leaders who said they're going to do much more on the border, they're going to do everything they possibly can to end fentanyl, the president said, okay, I'll tell you what, if they're in the deal that we made, I'll keep it tariff-free. But for everybody who was outside that deal, who took the risk, who didn't pay attention and respect the agreements that President Trump made his first term, they're going to pay a 25% tariff. And that's sort of like meeting in the middle. So he gave the automakers relief. He gave computer makers relief. The major industries got relief. But everybody who's outside that agreement, they're going to pay. And Canada and Mexico promised they are going to crush the border and they're going to crush fentanyl. And that's what our president is here to do, to stop fentanyl killing Americans.
Mr. Secretary, let me ask you about what the Fed Chair Jerome Powell had to say on Friday. He said, quote, we're still very uncertain about what will be tariffed, for how long, and at what level. So can you provide some clarity, Mr. Secretary? Are these tariffs going to be temporary or permanent?
So the tariffs that we've started with Mexico, Canada, and China, that was the month of March. These are fentanyl-related, border-related. So China makes the ingredients for fentanyl. It's got to stop. President Xi offered President Trump in 2019, he'd put the death penalty on anybody who made the ingredients for fentanyl. And instead, we've got in 2025? China is subsidizing the production of fentanyl. Maximum subsidy available in China to make the ingredients to kill Americans. I mean, President Trump is on it, and he is powerful on it, and he's not going to step off the gas. So if you're talking about the drug war, let's focus on the drug war. And then when you want to talk about April 2nd, That's going to be reciprocal tariffs, and I'm happy to talk about that. But let's try to keep those two different.
Okay, understood. But you say he's not going to take his foot off the gas. Does that mean these are permanent tariffs? Mr. Secretary, can you provide clarity, yes or no?
If fentanyl ends, I think these will come off. But if fentanyl does not end or he's uncertain about it, they will stay this way until he is comfortable. This is black and white. You got to save American lives. So with respect to fentanyl, this is about the border and fentanyl, and that's an agreement between the president and the two leaders of Canada. Of course, Justin Trudeau's got a lot to say. Of course, he's leaving in like days, so it's not really that fun to listen to some guy who's trying to create sort of a mess for Canada, which he's trying to do. President Sheinbaum did a much more calm, thoughtful conversation with President Trump, and that's why this is the result. She was able to negotiate it because she said 1,000 more people on the border, stopping fentanyl from coming into this country.
Mr. Secretary, I want to whip through this next.
Yep.
All right, so honestly, I'm surprised that Mexico is taking it, light, and she's not kind of pushing back. She's actually following through. So I was surprised about that. I thought maybe Canada would be more reasonable than Mexico. So kudos to her for being a woman and able to control her emotions, even though she was freaking out about the whole Gulf America thing. But when it came to this, she followed through. So that's good. And then I wanted to really quick, because he's going to explain the whole reciprocal tariffs thing, but
We're not going to get into that.
Into what?
I think there's like a minute left to the clip.
Okay, let's put the whole thing, and then I'll put my 2 cents on the reciprocal tariffs. By the way,
Section,
Jose wanted to talk about BlackRock.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
When did he say that?
I
see BlackRock.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's a little bit of a to-do list. President Trump previously announced 25% tariffs on steel and aluminum imports. Are those still going to take effect Wednesday, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Are the 250% tariffs against Canada on dairy and lumber coming this week? And if so, when?
No, I think that those reactions, the changes to USMCA and beyond, they start on April 2nd. So on April 2nd, we are going to revisit again the fentanyl issues, and we are going to revisit again the general trade issues of reciprocality. Remember, Canada is supposed to have a free trade agreement with us. 250% on dairy products. It's outrageous, and the president's going to respond to it, but he's agreed not to respond until April 2nd.
Okay,
All
so
right,
no
cool,
tariffs.
All right, so when April 2nd hits, that's when there's going to be reciprocal tariffs across the board. So everybody's saying how things are going to get more expensive when that happens. I don't think it's going to be permanent, and at the same time, I think it's also an opportunity for people that want to invest, because right now the stock market is down, so things are cheaper if you want to buy. Same thing goes for real estate. People are selling their houses for way cheaper, and you'd see, if you're one of those people like me that likes to go on Zillow or Realtor just to see what the pricing costs in your area, like at least here in Miami where things are expensive. People are selling their houses for way cheaper because they want cash right now. So I see that as a good thing. I see that as an opportunity. A lot of people are going to think of it negatively as for like, oh, groceries are going to go up. Like, bro, groceries have been going up even before tariffs, So I don't see why this is any different. There's a quote, I'm not sure, I'm going to butcher it here, but in every disaster or in any negative event, there's always going to be an opportunity to those who see it as an opportunity.